Anybody admit to coming from north of the Mason-Dixon line? All right, where you from? Well, that's plenty far enough. 160 years ago, when your ancestors were down here persecuting our ancestors. Anyway, one of the things that happened was we could not get through the Yankee blockade to get medicines. So, the Confederate Surgeon General got together with a South Carolinian planter / medical doctor named Dr. Francis Porcher. Francis Porcher was a very famous doctor, president of the South Carolina AMA, and he had written several books. One of them was like the cryptogamic plants of the lowlands of South Carolina. So he said, Francis, we need a manual of resources that we cannot have to run the Yankee blockade. And so he wrote a book called Resources of the Southern Fields and Forests. Back then, what either killed or put out of commission most soldiers from both sides?
Infection.
Sickness, not bullets. Plenty of people die from bullets, but most were down at any given time due to disease because they had a very poor concept of hygiene, for one thing. So the big thing that got people was called the bloody flux. That was dysentery. It could have been amoebic, bacterial, viral, pooping and peeing in the water upstream, then drinking the water. And it would be diarrhea so bad that all that would come out would be clear fluid and blood. And at any given time, half of a battalion, Yankees or Confederates, could be down with that. One of the things was, we can't get overseas to get these medicines, so what do we have here for the bloody flux? And they went back to using a remedy that was common in the South among the poor folk. That was blackberry root. So if you had, I'm talking life-threatening, severe flux, they would dig the blackberry root, make a tea out of it, a decoction, which means that you boiled it for about 15-20 minutes, a spoonful of each bowel movement. In about 3 or 4 bowel movements, you were done. In fact, if you overdo this stuff, it will take you from diarrhea to constipation. The only thing better than blackberry root is in New Jersey tea root, the one I use for prostate, and opium, which will lock you up. That's why you got opioid-induced constipation as a problem nowadays. But if you had it severe, somebody would dig it, make the tea out of it, the decoction for it. If you had it really bad, but you were up in ambulatory, and it was summertime, you'd get the green fruit, make a decoction out of green fruit and use the tea. And it's just about as binding as the roots. Then you could use the leaves, the dried leaves, if it was just a mild case, like, the bad Mexican food trots type thing. And then if you had children, they had a thing that it could take very informative. They had one called summer complaint, where they run around snotty, picking their nose barefooted, get the runs. You'd give them blackberry jelly or syrup. That way they got their medicine without realizing they were getting medicine. The only form you don't use this in is jam. Because what's in jam? Seeds. Seeds are a scouring laxative. You already got diarrhea, they'll go through and just hit that inflamed tissue and just tear your stomach up. Unless you de-seed the jam, and then you're okay. The leaves on this also are antihistamine, especially for milk allergies. So they were commonly used for children who could not digest milk. As a tea, yeah. The leaves. If you don't have blackberry root, you can use raspberry, dewberry, wild rose. Any of those brambles will stop diarrhea.
Do you hear of it for ulcers like Heliobacter? I was reading that they
use that for Heliobacter. You can, because it's an astringent, but what works better than that is yellow root, because yellow root has berberine.
Yeah.
And it's astringent.
Yeah.